Right now, though, take a look at Jack Moore. Well, if you're in Palm Springs and you see a guy walking around town that has glasses like this, well, you know he's got to be somebody. That's what I thought, and indeed it's true. I'm sitting here today with Jack Moore. Do we all recognize Jack? Hi, honey.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Shall we show our glasses?
Show our glasses. This is the Jack Moore look, the fashion statement of Palm Springs. Anyway, you know, a lot of you probably know him as doing PR work and, of course, starting the cabaret convention last year, which was a huge success and whatnot. But what people don't know, and I didn't know until about a week ago, you were a Hollywood star.
Well, a dancer.
Honey.
Another life.
In another life. Well,
a long time ago.
Behind us is this memorabilia wall and books and pictures, just unbelievable. And I want you to tell me a little bit. You did start out as a dancer, but you've got some great stories behind all this. And, you know, as a human interest story, a lot of people didn't know that about you. And I think it's fascinating to find out that we've got, you know, Palm Springs is kind of old Hollywood, a lot of history here. And you lived it. You lived the dream.
Well, I started in summer stock in 1948 out of high school.
Yeah.
That dates me a little bit, but it's true. And I had to go to university. My folks insist on that. But I did summer stock all the time I went. Then was shipped off to Chicago to really study dancing. And got in the Chicago Opera Ballet, and we just happened to go to New York with it. And so I made my Broadway debut at the Broadway Theater in a ballet company, of all things.
Isn't that something?
And then I ended up being a June Taylor dancer.
Yeah, I read that you were a dancer and also a teacher as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. It was the live black and white Jackie Gleason show where we did an original musical every week.
Oh, my gosh.
We had 5 days to put it together every week. I came back from summer stock in 1958, and I was just teaching for June, didn't have a job, anything else, and ran into an old friend, and he said he was doing an off-Broadway show, and the first person on it was Mabel Mercer, part of the convention.
Right.
It's named for, cabaret. And the second was Betty Comden and Adolph Green. And Betty took me to my first Hollywood party at Romanoff's.
And the rest is history.
And while I was there, I got the job with Judy Garland as a dancer and an assistant choreographer for a tour.
Now, I know most people here know you as Jack, but Judy had called you Johnny. And then they were the only ones that ever called you Johnny.
My real name is John Ira Moore III. When I went to New York, there was a Jack Moore who was a dancer, so I couldn't be in the union, so I'd be John Ira Moore. Or after made me be J. Ira Moore. And so I went through all of that. So I was introduced as John. And they called, Sid and Judy just started calling me Johnny immediately. And I thought, well, that's the diminutive. They must like me.
And she introduced you to Vincent Minnelli as...
Vincent, I want you to meet my choreographer.
Isn't that something? You did some of the greatest musicals, some of the greatest movies. I want you to tell me a little bit about the movies that you're in, because they were just, everybody knows them. They're fabulous.
My first one was Music Man. And then I did Inside Daisy Clover, and finally My Fair Lady, and that was my last dance.
Just some of the classics. I mean, it's just so wonderful. You were in the original company. You can't find an original cast member anymore. I love that.
Yeah, I was very lucky. I've been lucky all my life.
Well, you have to have talent to get in there, Jack. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Well, yes.
Everything you touch turns to gold. Let's leave it at that.
There are bad times, but I don't remember them anymore.
I don't know any of them. I don't think we have any. Anyway, Jack Moore, he is in town. He does lots of charity things. You've worked with Irv. You've done the cabaret thing. It's fabulous.
Alzheimer's,
yeah.
my mother had it.
Right, and you worked with them. You still work with them, which is great. He's just the man about town. If you ever see him and you didn't know this, now we've just opened up a whole door of stories that are about to happen from a living Hollywood star right here in Palm Springs. Jack, you want to sign off?
Okay.
Signing off.
Here we go.
And action.